and welcome back to Steady Rolling Man Presents The Masks of Nyarlathotep. It's been quite the trip in the Manor House, but there's one big problem left. Gavigan. Let's see how the adventurers get on today.
Jacob stumbled frantically through the house in search of Blake and Bert, his head swimming from what he had just seen. He was barely able to keep things together, but he, unlike poor Charles, was alive. And then a shout. Blake! From close by. Inside the house. The smell of death was everywhere. Charles and that thing in the kitchen, bodies strewn across the hallway, and another slumped in the doorway ahead. Jacob didn't look too closely. He couldn't look too closely. He just needed to find the others. Pushing open the door to the great hallway, he couldn't believe the extent of the devastation beyond. Once opulent decor was strewn across the room. Oak panels were pitted and split with shrapnel. Broken furniture lay blasted in its component parts, and a great chandelier was now reduced to a pile of smashed glass in the room's centre. The suits of armour that lined one wall all looked as though they had seen one too many battles. Before Jacob was able to see something larger that lay on the floor in front of the fireplace, Blake appeared. Please close your eyes, my friend. There are things here that it's better for you not to see. Don't worry, though. Mr. Mills has once again proven to be a great ally. We are in need of your skills as a clockmaker once again. Where's Charles? Charles is dead, Blake. Taking his friend by the arm, Blake led him across the great hall towards the fireplace. But from behind closed eyes, the American could still see the flying thing. Those abominable wings. That terrible alien face. Reeling, he let out a cry and opened his eyes to steady himself. What he saw on the floor of the great hall was too much for him, and once again his fragile mind gave way. It was as much as Blake could do to stop his friend from falling. Jacob's eyes were suddenly blank, face utterly expressionless. He stood swaying on flailing legs, utterly unaware of his surroundings. Okay.
Am I holding him up? Is he passed out? Or is he just...
He's not passed out.
Vacant?
His eyes are still open, but vacant expression, and he is holding himself up to a degree, but he's swaying quite badly, so you're having to hold on to him.
Okay. Jacob, follow me quickly. I'll guide him as quickly as I can to the doorway and down to where Bert is.
Okay, you kind of half help, half drag him to the entrance next to the fireplace. I think you can try and go down the steps.
Yeah, I'll go first, and I'll guide him down.
Okay, suddenly his legs go stiff, and you feel like you're holding all of his weight up. His eyes kind of roll up into his head as if he's fainting.
Okay, I'll catch him, and
okay,
I'll call down to Bert.
I get him up the stairs when I hear my name. What is it?
You see Jacob as white as a sheet lying. Blake has just managed to kind of lower him to the ground. He's sitting up against the wall, but his eyes have kind of gone up into his head, and he's not moving. A small amount of spittle is dribbling down the corner of his mouth.
I think we've lost him again. He saw that creature, dead thing upstairs. Charles is dead. Whatever that thing was that was flying got him. I don't know what we're going to do about Jacob. He doesn't seem to be in any fit state to help with the door. Trouble is, we can't leave until we've finished with Gavigan. Maybe we take him down to the door and he'll come to.
All right, give it a try.
Suddenly, you kind of bent. You're both kind of standing over him. Suddenly, his eyes flick open. Jacob, you can see your two friends standing over you, peering down at you, out of focus to start with. But slowly, they come into focus. All you can see is their two, what seem to be overly large faces staring at you, threateningly close.
Reel back. What's going on?
How are you, Jacob? We lost you for a minute there. What was the last thing you remember?
I don't really know. Where are we?
I wouldn't worry too much about that, to be honest. We need your skills. Come to this door and give us a hand.
Well, where are we, Bert?
We're at Gavigan's house. Do you not remember? You saw something in the room that we just came through. Did something to your mind.
I don't remember any of that. I remember I remember driving here, and they were driving to Walton in Charles's car. Where is Charles?
He's not here at the moment. He's in another room. We'll fill you in a minute. If you don't remember anything, that's probably a good thing. We can fill you in a minute. But all you need to know for now is that we've got Gavigan pinned down, but we're stuck because he's behind a door and we can't open it. So we need you to do it.
Gavigan's behind there.
Yeah. Can you help? Everything else is
Yes.
okay. All we need to worry about is the door.
Right, and you're sure Gavigan's behind there?
Yes. We're pretty sure one of his staff told us that was where he was, but we need to be careful because we think
He's armed.
He's armed, and we think he's summoning creatures.
And we're going to kill him, aren't we?
Oh, most definitely. And anybody else that's down there with him, unless they're hostages, in which case we should let them free. Basically, we don't know what's on the other side of the door, so that's why we need it open as soon as possible before he can do something else.
Right, I'll see. I'll try my best. I'll see what I can do. I'm not sure I can keep my hands as steady as usual, but I'll try.
Okay, you're going to.
my-
So you managed to, well, with the help of Burton, but you managed to pull yourself to your feet. You can see the stairs, stone stairs, descending down into the darkness.
Behind Jacob's back, I'll pull a crazy face. But
Like Indra and eyeball rolling my eyes.
Can someone hold a torch so I can see?
absolutely.
I'll kneel down in front of the door and.
Okay, so you need to. Sorry, you need to go down to like because the steps go down and then there's a door at the bottom of the steps.
Well,
So you're gonna
I use my
yeah.
torch to go down there,
Okay.
and then I'll kneel in front of the door.
Are you the other two? Are you staying?
I've got a
At the top of
torch
the
and a
steps.
pistol. I will stay at the top of the stairs watching to see make sure nobody comes in.
There isn't very many steps. So you're only looking at like six steps, so it's not very far anyway. You can.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'll stay in the doorway so that I've got a degree of cover. We know that there's some cultist police going to turn up at some point.
Okay. You take out. Well, what do you do? What do you do?
I'm going to take out my my tools and insert them into the lock and see if I can unlock it.
Okay. You notice as you first of all you have a bit of a problem trying to locate your tools. You can't remember where they are, and then when you eventually find them, you take them out and you notice that your hand is shaking quite badly as you trying. You kind of hold it in front of you, trying to concentrate on it.
I quickly nip down and say, if I'm guarding up here, Jacob, can I take your dynamite and Mills bombs, please?
You can have the dynamite. I want to keep the last Mills bomb for Gavigan.
Very well.
I'll hand you the dynamite.
You hear as you say that.
You got three, haven't you?
As you say that, you hear a voice from the other side of the door. How very generous of you. It sounds like you've made quite a mess of my house. Killed some loyal followers, no doubt. I should thank you, really. Culling the weak always strengthens the faithful. So, sorry to hear of your recent losses, by the way. Stanton was a waste. I had him earmarked for better things. But I understand you've recruited some more fools to help you on your hapless crusade.
Perhaps we should continue this conversation in person, Gavigan. Or would you speak to us through the door like the coward you are?
I must say I'm impressed. Not by your subtlety, of course, but that you've even made it this far. Breaking into the Foundation, that bold little fire you started in Derby, last night's incident in Limehouse, and now here. Robbery, arson, murder. A real trail of destruction. And yet you think of yourself as the heroes, no doubt. Have you asked yourselves who the real villains of this piece are?
Yes, and we decided that it was you.
Well, I'm sure that the police will quickly make up their minds about that.
Maybe so.
You did the right thing in leaving London, Douglas, all those years ago, but you made a serious error in returning. We were only in our infancy back then, but not so now. Our reach is long.
So it would seem, but we have tracked many of your tentacles. We know of your operations in other countries, and we've already destroyed your cell in New York, and are well on our way to destroying your operation here. In fact, you appear to be the only one left. We've destroyed everything that you were attempting to build. We've destroyed or obtained everything that you were seeking to transport. Statues, busts, sacrificial accoutrements, whatever you want to call them. They're all ours now. I think that's going to slow you down somewhat.
I don't doubt that your meddling has been irritating, but you are, of course, nothing more than insects in the walls, scratching, scuttling, soon to be crushed. Do you even know what you're interfering with?
We
No.
know enough. We know enough. We know enough that we know that we will do whatever it takes to stop you.
You're just children playing with matches in a powder room.
Well, explain it to us then. And if your side, your colleagues, your allies, if they are all as one and working for the same end, why are you receiving letters threatening and demanding the return of items stolen? You're surely not working against your own kind, are you? And what of Shahara Shafik? She seems very interested in you.
I have
What of
no
her?
interest. What of her? What of any of it?
This is the point where you tell us everything about your grand plan before we kill you. So tell us.
Well, you see, I don't think that's what's going to happen. Did you think you were alone in your defiance? No. No, there are others here. Innocents, you'd call them. A foolish priest, a meddling journalist, a dock rat who saw too much. They're all here with me now. Oh, and not to mention George. I think you're already acquainted with disloyal security guard. Sadly, he and his young family didn't quite make it to their new life with the money you stole from me. If you persist with this, I'll be forced to kill them all, which will be a shame. Do you want more blood on your hands? You can't.
At this point, for the greater good, what, save a few only for you to destroy the world? I think they would be willing to make that sacrifice in the same way that we would.
You can't stop what's coming, but you can choose how much blood spills before it arrives. So, leave now before the police arrive, and you might have a chance to get away from good old Blighty before your crimes catch up with you. You persist with this, and you will surely seal your fate and those of the innocents I hold here.
Well, they're dead either way, are they not?
Is
Sorry,
Jacob
Brett.
working on the door whilst we're talking?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just listening.
I'll urge him forwards to
Okay.
get onto the door whilst Douglas is
Goading him.
Gavigan busy. Yeah.
I will try and
Let-
do that while he's talking.
Okay. I can hear you working on the door. Let me be clear. If that continues, I will murder each and every one of these innocents in here. It is your choice.
But you're going to do that anyway. And you know we're coming through.
And this is bullshit, Gavigan. We've got enough dynamite here to seal you in there forever. I don't believe for a second you've got anyone else in there.
Sadly, that is very disappointing that you don't believe me.
Go and get one. Have them speak to us.
You don't hold the cards, Gavigan. This is your opportunity.
You hear some
To survive.
you hear footsteps recede away.
Quick, pick the lock while he's not there.
Okay, you carry on working on the lock. You then hear a voice. Only a few seconds later. Please help me. Please, misters. He's got me again. They came for me. Please listen to what he says. He ain't bluffing.
How many's he got?
There's 4 of us here, including me. What he says is true. There, you see, I'm not lying. Stop now with that door, otherwise George is the first to get it.
I think we've got
He's got a knife, misters. He's got a knife at me throat.
I think we've got to leave him, lads. I don't think we can risk these innocents. Shaking my head whilst I'm talking. Right. You're like, we can't risk any more bloodshed. Holding up some dynamite whilst I'm talking. Let's go.
I'm not.
We better go. Come on, let's get up these stairs. Come on, Jacob.
We'll be back, Gavigan.
You better look over your shoulder, Gavigan. You're marked.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. Head back to London.
Okay, what you can do then?
Walk to the top of the stairs. And then
Light a bit of dynamite before you do it.
Well, no, I'm gonna get it all.
Let's just go back upstairs.
Okay, we go back upstairs.
One stick will blow the door down. If you'd use all of it, you're actually gonna seal everybody in.
Yeah, you think that's bad then?
I think that we should do what we can to try and save them before we seal them into a slow and painful death. One stick will either collapse it, in which case we tried. One stick might open the door, and then we can. So either way, we've got a resolution.
It's agreed then. 2 sticks.
He'll kill them regardless, won't he?
Yeah, but he might not get the opportunity to kill all of them.
Well, let's vote. I vote 2 sticks.
Admittedly, you are a little bit
Mad in the head.
not in your best decision making, but we do agree.
Two sticks is going to collapse it. 1 stick might just blow the door in and keep the roof up. So you might as well go. If you're going to go 2 sticks, you might as well go 12.
Don't tempt me.
Do 1, and if it doesn't work, then you
Right,
can do the rest of them.
Light 1 stick, throw it down the bottom of the stairs, and leg it to the other side of the hall.
Okay. So you're throwing it from the top, and then you're running
No,
across.
no. I will go down and I will place it at the door because you can't. If you throw it down, I'll sneak down. I'll move silently down there, and
Okay.
I'll light 1, and then I'll place it right up against the door on the hinge side.
Okay, so make a stealth roll then, please.
I'm going to fall down the stairs, aren't I? Yeah, that's a success.
Cool.
Decent roll,
Okay.
just what we needed.
Yep.
Normally that would be the time to roll 100.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking.
Everyone thought it. Thank goodness no one said it.
Fall down the stairs holding a stick of dynamite. Oh, and Jacob's one as well. So that's what I'm carrying 6 sticks, 5 sticks now.
Yeah.
Okay, Blake, looking at the dynamite, you can see that the fuse is it's a standard 60 seconds. It's quite a long fuse. It's about 60 seconds.
I'll cut it in half.
Yeah. So with your experience of like the war and also your police experience, you would realise that that's kind of average. But yeah, you're going to cut it in half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You quietly place the dynamite, and you're going to light it at the bottom and then run, are you?
Then I'm going to creep away. I've got 30 seconds, so that's enough time to get up the stairs. When I get to the top of the stairs, I'll run like hell.
Okay, where are the rest of you standing?
We'll have
They're
already
back
moved to the
up
far
the
side of
stairs.
far side of the
Okay.
hall.
Right, okay. I believe it's 4d10 damage from dynamite, am I correct?
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to check the structural integrity of this particular area. Just bear with me a second.
While we're away from the door and definitely out of earshot, we're going to need to go in quickly
Yes.
Okay,
and hard.
can you roll 4d10 then, please? Blake,
I shall.
Simon?
Ooh, 29. It's one of those ones where I kind of wish that I hadn't rolled quite as high.
I don't know. It's an iron door. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I think an iron door would be tougher than 2 men.
Yeah, with the balsa wood hinges.
Okay. There is a loud explosion, as you would imagine. The whole place momentarily, this room shakes, and a huge cloud of dust blows upstairs into the hallway. What are you going to do?
Okay. Run down the stairs.
Guns drawn, or
Okay.
Torches and guns.
torches and guns, and Mills bomb handy, but not in hand.
Right, you get to the top of the stairs, and the dust is just clearing, and you look down, and you can see that the door has almost been blown from its hinges. It's hanging just by one hinge. The area around it has been badly scorched, and some of the ceiling has collapsed, but it hasn't been a full-on collapse, and you can still see beyond into the room.
Rush in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to let Bert go first because he's got a shotgun,
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
said Gavigan.
Yeah.
A proper villain, like a white cat.
Okay. Right, who's going in first? Bert?
Bert, followed by me, and then Jacob can throw a grenade in when we're both in there.
Okay.
Woohoo!
I didn't want him to have it.
Yeah, I know. You let the nutter have a grenade.
Okay, so actually, when the door hanging off the hinges, you can see beyond the door is some more stone steps that descend further to a landing, and then into what appears to be a workshop. The walls are all brick. The air down here is chill, and smells earthy and damp. Very quickly, but you see that the workshop, the light down here is given by candles and wall sconces. There's a small fire and a brazier in the centre of the workshop, and then there's a greenish light, which is coming from some sort of objects that are on a table across the room. On one side of the workshop, there's an array of medieval torture devices. There's an Iron Maiden, a rack, things like tongs, pincers, thumb screws, knee splitters. The braziers in the centre of the room. There's also a desk and a leather chair on one wall. In opposite where the stairs descend into the workshop, there's an archway which looks like the entrance to a dungeon. You can see some barred cells just about beyond that. I will show you on here.
Thank you.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good. So, as I described, there's a brazier in the centre, tables, benches. There's an Iron Maiden over here on the south wall. But your attention is drawn over here, which is where the archway is, directly ahead of you.
Yeah.
And then you can see some what look like cells beyond.
The room
There's
empty.
there's no people in the room.
No.
There's lots,
Room's empty.
so I'll just move quickly straight across to the archway.
Okay, move yourself across to there then.
Oh, will do. I don't like to presume.
I'm going at an angle.
Okay, you're going over to there. That's that bench with loads of stuff on it. Jacob, you get into the room as well. Okay, all of you go down into the workshop. But you look through there, and you hear, as you are crossing the room, you hear a voice coming from that's where the cells are, saying, "Over here, please help me. He's gone. Let me out before he comes back. He's the devil himself."
Where's he gone?
I don't know.
Turn around to Jacob with a slightly cross look and put my finger to my mouth.
Hold on a second. I'm just gonna.
I'm watching the room behind us.
Okay, Bert.
Yeah.
So you can see here. See that where I'm demonstrating to you?
Yeah.
So there's some bars there, and you can see George. You recognise the squat, salt and pepper haired man that you saw, that you rescued from that you let go free from the Penhew Foundation. You can see him standing just inside the bars. You can see he's got something. Looks like he's got manacles on his wrists and on his ankles.
Can I see exits from this X area?
No, you can just see the cells to your left. That's all you can see at the moment.
So can I move?
Yeah?
Can I move? Can I just move straight through?
Yeah.
So here, no exits.
No, but you do notice that there is somebody lying on the floor in this cell here, lying face down. And then you also notice, I think there's somebody in this one as well.
I can't see that.
Yeah, you would be able to. Sorry, I know.
No, I can see the ping, but I can't see the rest of the room. Thank you. That all makes more sense now, because I could see gaps that look like exits. I'll move back.
Is the Iron Maiden shut?
No, it's open.
It's not an exit.
And
Look, can you let me out? Please let me out.
Which way to go?
I don't know. Behind me somewhere, he points like behind him. He went around there, but I can't see through the wall. I've heard nothing from the others for ages. I don't know whether they're still alive or not.
I'll head round here and search for an exit.
Okay.
And
follow.
check the others.
I'm going to stay in this room. I'm watching.
You're searching that wall where you are there, Bert, yeah?
Yeah. I'm the one who's face down.
The one that you went past over here.
Male?
Yeah. That
Check
one's
that's
male. And just on a quick glance, he seems to be wearing some soiled clerical raiments.
Okay.
You're going to search, kind of tapping around on the walls there. You can't find anything. No, nothing. It just seems like a solid wall, Bert, to be honest.
Are any of the cell doors open?
No, all of them have got they've just got their bars across. They're all closed. You don't know whether they're locked or not, but obviously as far as you can see, Jacob, the ones the ones that you're looking at, there's only one of them that's occupied on this part of the room. Look, let me out, will you? Please, let me out.
That's not.
I'm sorry, but I've got my wife and kids.
Yeah, and you'll see them. And you'll see them as long as you shut up. We've got to find Gavigan.
I'm going to go up to the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And watch the hall. One, if Gavigan's found another way out, and two, make sure that the police don't catch us from behind.
You're going to go up to this bit here.
So I'm going up. Yeah. So I'm
right,
actually going right to the top so I can see.
You're going through that blown door bit, and then up to into the Great Hall again.
Yeah, but staying in the doorway so I can look out in the Great Hall, but I'm not standing in the hall.
That doesn't afford you a view of the basement, though, of the
No,
workshop.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
going to tell Jacob that's what I'm doing before I go.
Okay.
Going to have a look at the wall in the workshop. So the northern wall, one that was to our right as we walked through toward the
Yeah.
cells.
Okay.
We're looking for something odd about it. Whether there might be some concealed door.
Okay.
I'll just look at these two, see what's going on with these two.
Okay. So, like the first one, like they're both in here. Both of them are manacled to the floor by their legs. They're both gagged as well, and they're both lying, seemingly unconscious. Give me a second. One of them looks to be like a fairly young woman with tangled auburn hair and torn clothes and a deep cut along her left cheek. And the other one is a broad-shouldered man with a broken nose, quite a lot of stubble, and torn clothes. He's bloodstained, and he's also got one of his eyes is swollen shut. You can see that he has a mermaid's tattoo on his upper arm. Okay, Jacob, you've searched. You're having a look at. Did you say you're going to go and search that wall?
Yeah, it looks like there's only one wall in the workshop which doesn't have
Anything on it?
anything on it. So yeah.
Yeah. You do kind of a cursory tap along it, and it all seems pretty solid. Well, it doesn't seem pretty solid. It all seems solid. There's a bit of debris at the bottom of the stairs that been caused by the dynamite, but other than that, there's nothing of any note.
What's the round thing in the middle of the?
That's a
Well,
brazier. It's got a small fire which is kind of flickering away in it. This bench over here has got looks to be a couple of weird, almost kind of scepter-like things that are emitting an odd green glow. They're on a cushion on that bench. Looking at them, you think they're made of gold.
I'm going to try and search the walls in the rest of the room, starting with the opposite wall, sort of where the Iron Maiden is.
Okay. It does take just for information purposes, I guess it does take quite a long time to do a proper search of a wall. So yeah, it's a fairly lengthy process. Just in case you're wondering, worried about the time, you're happy just to devote as much time as you need to search around.
No, not really. I'm going to go back up and talk to Douglas. It's like, Douglas, we're at a dead end here. If we can't find a way forward, we have to leave.
Yeah, I know. But we know he was down here. It couldn't have just vanished. There's got to be a way out. The trouble is, the longer we look, the more likely it is that he's actually made the clean getaway.
Yeah.
Which makes me think maybe it's worth us looking outside, because he can't have gone that far if he's running up drive. Unless, I mean, there's got to be another way out of this place, secret door or something. I don't know.
Can I just have a quick word with Jacob for a second?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll message you on Roll20 when you can come back. If that's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Jacob, you said you were going to go and search the other side of the room, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're searching just around. Well, where are you going to start your search?
Sort of in the middle of the wall, because where the Iron Maiden is.
Either side of the Iron Maiden, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks from the overhead that's the only sort of clear area of wall space without.
Yeah. That's
furniture.
it. Correct. Right. You're looking around. And suddenly become aware of a figure standing behind you. So you turn around and you're shocked to see the figure of George standing just across the room here. He looks at you. Something isn't quite right about him. Before you can do anything, you suddenly begin to feel strange as his eyes bore into yours, and you feel something in your mind. You feel a presence, something trying to take over you. Can you make a power roll, please?
That's a success.
What type of success?
Ordinary, 59 against 65.
Okay. Suddenly, George says to you, "You are to protect me. If your friends try and kill me, you shoot them. Understand? I am your master. You have no choice but to obey."
So I'll say I obey.
Okay.
I draw my gun.
You draw your gun. He comes over to you, and he has a blade in his hand. He stands behind you, and basically just puts his hand on your shoulder, and it says, "Don't forget, if your friends try and harm me, you shoot them."
Very well.
Gonna get the others back.
Jacob's pathological hatred of him doesn't help at all, does it, in here?
Yeah, hello.
I'm afraid not. Sadly. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So you're talking at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, I just wanted to just say, he must be down there, and I wanted to suggest to Douglas that he comes down with me and helps search.
Okay.
No, okay. Fine. We shouldn't split up either.
No, but Jacob's only downstairs.
No, I'll head down with Bert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I've seen the faces of the two in the north, but the
Yeah.
one is still face down.
What you think is some sort of priest is still face down. Yeah.
I look at
Were the cells locked? But
He hasn't tried. Well, he hasn't actually. Nobody's actually tried the doors other than Jacob tried the ones along the bottom, and they were all. One of them was locked that had somebody in it, but the others weren't.
okay, so it's a fair bet that if there's somebody in there, then they're locked in. And it was George who was on the south, and
George is in the middle.
oh, George is in the middle. Okay,
George is in the middle, yeah.
Okay, George is in the middle. Who's in the south?
The cleric's down here,
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
and then you've got
And
there's a woman
sailor.
up here,
Yeah.
a sailor in that one.
Sailor's there, woman, yeah.
Okay, you both go back down the stairs, and you are shocked as you turn the corner of the stairs from the landing that you're currently standing on. You see Jacob standing in the middle of the workshop, and behind him is George.
Oh, you started to let him out, Jacob. Good idea. Do we get the others?
George says, "Move aside. Do not harm me."
Of course we wouldn't, mate. What's going on here?
Tell them, Jacob.
I know I was a bit rude to you earlier, telling you to shut up, but it's because I didn't want Gavigan to, jump us, making a lot of noise. Got to be secretive, haven't you?
We need to let him go. He's innocent. He needs to get out of here.
Yeah, we want to get all of them out.
Suddenly, the voice you hear of George's voice change. You down here now, otherwise I will kill Jacob.
Is he's behind Jacob from my perspective?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob has his gun drawn.
Jacob's got his gun drawn. He's pointing it directly at both of you.
Okay.
What are you doing?
We'll hold him down the stairs a bit.
Okay.
Just to the bottom of the steps.
You see George / Gavigan signals for you to move over to the far side by the Iron Maiden. Over there, you can see now that he's got a knife behind Jacob's back. Jacob, either he doesn't know that the knife's there or he doesn't care, but Jacob is training his gun on you, Bert, like staring at you. One move and my friend here will shoot you. Jacob, roll another power roll, please.
That's a very large number.
That's a very large number, and surprise, is higher than my power.
Okay, so that. Okay, thank you.
Jacob thinks it's a cracking idea to shoot Bert.
Douglas, Bert, are you going to come down and go where he tells you?
No, I'm standing at the top of the stairs, and I'm just peeking round so that I can see Jacob and George / Gavigan, but I'm not exposing myself.
Where are you going?
Just to be clear, I don't have a shot at the moment. He's properly behind Jacob.
He's right behind him. I mean, you could potentially have a shot but obviously he's not completely covering him, but he's like 90% covered.
So you're saying maybe that it's a hard shot?
I say it might be even extreme.
Oh, okay.
Well, certainly with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to shoot somebody. Yeah, what are you doing, Bert? Jacob's got his gun trained on you. You're being told to move. Move now. If you don't move, then Jacob will shoot.
I will move to over here as per the instruction.
Blake, if you don't come down the stairs now, I will tell your friend to shoot your other friend, and he will obey me.
I peer round the corner.
I'm losing patience. You have 5 seconds. 5.
Shoot Jacob in the leg.
Oh, okay.
I fire at Gavigan as soon as Jacob gets hit.
Okay. Right, Jacob, make a perception roll, please. Spot hidden roll, even.
Oh, that's a really high number. I'm very happy.
Okay, so you didn't see that coming. You didn't see that. So Douglas, you get the shot off first. But then that'll be that's a surprise round effectively.
Yeah. So this is where I roll the 100.
Oh,
Just
shush.
One shot, 23.
Nice.
Okay, so in this situation,
That's a hard success, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. How far are you from there? Yeah, you're about 50. You're outside of point blank range. Okay, so it's a hard success. Okay,
I apologise in advance if I blow your leg off.
right. So because of the fact that you have achieved a hard success, I'm going to give you -10 on your hit location roll. So roll a d20. 3. Okay, that's you hit him in the right leg.
Me.
And roll your damage. Oh dear.
Of course it's maximum damage. Of course it is.
12.
How much is that?
12.
Yeah.
That's going to be enough to kill him, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to give you. I'm going to do something weird with this because I don't think that's. I'm going to give you a bonus die on the damage because of you specifically trying to.
I was trying to wing him.
Yeah, and I think that represents the fact that you hit a hard success, so you would have aimed for something like somewhere down the bottom of the leg, probably, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you another opportunity, bonus die. I mean, obviously, if this was.
If I roll another 10.
Yeah.
Okay. 7.
A little bit better.
7. It's still not very nice, but it's.
It's a kneecapping, not a major artery.
Yeah, it didn't hit the femoral artery.
Yeah.
Okay. So your bullet smacks into Jacob's leg. Jacob, that's you need to make a constitution, not a constitution. You need to make a. Yeah, it's con, isn't it? Con roll. See whether you can stay conscious.
Please don't. Yes, you're on
No,
fire with the huge
out like a
numbers.
light.
You've rolled 96, 94, and 96 in your last 3.
This is
Okay.
the time where we really want you to be terrible. Well done, you.
Congratulations.
Right. So the bullet slams into your left kneecap, just above the knee, and the
Right kneecap.
right kneecap. The pain is absolutely searing, and you just faint away as the result of the pain, leaving George.
Take a shotgun blast.
Standing behind you. Okay. Hold on a second. When you see,
Seemed cooler when Jackson did it, when he shot that creature off me way back in.
Yeah.
it seemed cooler. Yeah, it's because he rolled better. Before your very eyes, the figure of George begins to morph and change, and suddenly you see the besuited figure of Edward Gavigan standing there in his place, a smug grin upon his face. So you were firing at him, weren't you, Bert?
Right.
Okay, so hold on a second. So I'm just going to have a look at who would go first.
I'm a nippy little fella. So.
70, Douglas, 70. Okay, so you guys are going to be... I presume you're firing again, Douglas?
Yep, I will.
Yeah, 70.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty much simultaneous. Sorry, I'm just going to check. Okay, but you lower the shotgun. And you hear the shot coming from the top of the stairs. You see Jacob fall to the ground. You see Gavigan appear where George once stood, and you take aim. You're just about to squeeze the trigger. As you do so, you meet Gavigan's eye, and his eyes widen, and he flicks his finger in some sort of strange fashion, and you are engulfed by a horrible, cloying, dark miasma. The very air seems to come to life as your body begins to shrivel at the power of this sorcerer. You need to make a power roll, please.
That is a success.
Or just a standard success?
This is just a standard success, yes.
Okay, I need to check that. Yeah. Okay, your skin begins to shrivel, blister, and blacken. You feel pain like you've never felt pain before. You take 7 damage. Can you also make a constitution roll, please?
15.
Okay, so
That is
whatever
very
it is that's doing this to you, you just focus on your target, aim your shotgun, squeeze the trigger. At the same time that Douglas, you squeeze the trigger of yours as well.
Am I point blank?
Yeah.
Both barrels.
I'm just checking 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
both barrels. Yeah.
Yep. Just as well. That one's is a mess.
You get a bonus die for point blank.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
does he not get a minus die
He
for?
gets a minus die for 2 shots.
Two
Yes,
So,
that's right.
shots.
So it balances out. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so yeah, 97 for the first one, and then a 10, which is an impale.
that's an impale. Ouch.
So I got what I wanted, which is 2 lots of damage.
Well, yeah, well, you got maximum damage, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's going to be messy.
Also, yeah, because your Jacob's fallen away to the side. Otherwise, you
That's why I shot him in the leg.
So it's 24 plus I roll, isn't it?
Is
yeah.
it 40, you got 46, yeah, plus, yeah. So, yeah, 24 plus 46. Oh,
Jesus.
32?
18.
No, terrible math, though, David. 42.
42 damage.
Ah,
42 damage from the man with the shotgun. From the
Just
feisty
smoking
little
out while we Gavigan.
from the feisty
Okay.
little butcher from his from
the air
That's
around
okay.
Gavigan, the air around Gavigan suddenly forms a shimmering shield, almost liquid in appearance, and quivers violently. Its surface distorting and warping as the shotgun pellets hit it. It bulges outwards, the areas where the pellets hit becoming a deep crimson red. Some of the pellets fall harmlessly to the floor. The small droplets of blood flicker out from the shield's surface, dissipating into the air like sparks from a fire. He staggers backwards. Did you think bullets and bombs would save you? That mere science would shield you from the truths written in the stars?
Okay.
Douglas?
He's still standing then, 3 shots.
Well, you've already shot. You're shooting simultaneously, so this all
Yeah.
happens at the same time.
Okay. That's a miss. That's a hit, but I lose a die on that.
You're not point blank.
That's a hit.
No.
No, I'm not. So that's one
okay.
hit.
One hit. Well done.
Oh, actually, yeah. Okay. And blimey. Okay, 1 hit.
Okay.
And that does 9 damage.
So can you refresh me what you did, Bert?
I fired 2 barrels from a shotgun.
No, the damage.
Is
I
that
mean the
what you mean?
damage. Yeah, the damage.
42.
42.
42, and then you just done 9 more to it.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing, whatever it was that was stopping the bullets, bullets penetrating, all the shotgun pellets, is now dissipates, and some of your shot got through, and also that last bullet hits him as well. And and this time he does stagger backwards. His expression does change from one of dismissive contempt to one of shock and panic. Okay, Douglas. Actually, he can't. He intones some strange chant which only lasts for a split second, and again, but this time it seems this time rather than being targeted by any type of miasma, you feel you feel something in your head, some creeping shadowy force trying to overtake your thoughts. Can you make a power roll, please?
That is a success.
Okay, that's a normal success, yeah. Oh dear.
My normal success against your 9. Yes.
Okay. The voice in your head instructs you to shoot Douglas and kill him. You have no choice but to obey. What are you doing, Douglas? You carrying on shooting, I presume?
Yeah, I am.
You don't know anything like that. You know that.
No, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I know. I'm
No.
staying where I am. I'm taking two shots.
Okay. But you, at the same time that Douglas is taking 2 shots at Gavigan, you spin around with your shotgun, and I mean Douglas does have cover because he's on the stairs.
Now, I know you say I have no choice but to obey.
Yeah.
Am I so compelled that I'm just going to pull the trigger on the empty gun, or am I now going to stop and reload it?
No, you stop and reload it.
Yeah, so that's what I have to do then. I have to stop and reload.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do the you got no other guns, have you?
Nope, I only have a shotgun and a knife.
Can I see
Okay.
Bert from where I am?
Yeah,
Okay, so I've seen him turn towards me.
you've seen it turn towards you. And sorry, also as part of Gavigan's, you see him retreat around the corner further into the dungeon.
So I can't get my shot off at him before he disappears.
No, because that's he acts first. Unfortunately, he's got a higher dex than you two. But you're loading your gun. But you make a spot hidden roll, Douglas. I'm going to see whether you can see that something's wrong with Bert.
34. That's
Yeah,
ace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's acting really odd, and the way he's looking at you and the way he's acting suggests that something isn't right with him.
Right.
I mean, you've already seen obviously Jacob be affected by this, and he's exhibiting similar traits to what was happening there.
Okay. I am going to grab a Mills bomb and throw it through the doorway
What into
just through where Gavigan was.
Okay, you realise that will affect all of you, don't you?
What's the blast radius of a Mills bomb?
So I think it's quite big. I've got a feeling, I'm just going to look at it now, but I have a feeling it's quite large. Anybody wants to help me with it? Can't remember whether it might be in the investigator's handbook. Actually,
It is. Let me see if I can find.
The real world answer is 32 square meters.
yeah. So it's it's in the investigator's handbook. It's fairly large in yards.
Maybe I won't do that then.
You would be aware of that.
Yeah, well, I've already used them a few times.
Yeah.
Grenade, firearms, grenade. 3 yards.
Yeah, that's the
Damage is 3 yards. The base range is strength 5 yards.
But
Yeah.
that's
So you only-
presumably how far you can throw it, is it?
Yeah.
So damage. You only get damage if you're within 3 yards when it goes off.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's what's up. I haven't found the Call of Cthulhu, but on the basic role playing system, that's the answer. Yeah, 3
Yeah, I
yards.
just looked it up. It's on page 254.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, just check. Well, on the investigator's handbook.
Investigator's handbook, yeah.
Okay, not that I don't believe you, but I just want to. It's quite important.
I can verify
Actually, it says damage. It says only hurts baddies.
that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty selective Mills bombs. They came
Well,
later.
being a sorcerer, I've managed I can shape the charge.
254, did you say?
So I'm going to roll 100 and drop it anyway. So
Right, yeah, I'm going to do that in a sec, but I'm just going. Okay.
That'll be a heck of a way for the adventure to end. Mills bombed. That's what I call the episode.
Mills bombed.
Yeah.
No, you can't call it that. Mills and boom.
Oh
Oh
no!
dear.
Come on.
You're really pleased with yourself, aren't you?
I am. I'm so pleased. I'm going to end it. I'm going to die happy.
40-10 stroke 3 yards. Is that actually what it means? Is that what the stroke means?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
but the only thing we really need to know is whether it's diameter or radius, isn't it?
Pretty mad, is it? Okay.
Actually say, does it?
No, I don't really know what
The
stroke
purpose is
means.
determining increased damage. Weapons are divided into 2 groups: impaling on non-impaling weapons deliver maximum damage. Important only initiate.
I'd probably read that as it does 4d10 damage within a
3
3
yards.
yard radius.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I would read it.
Okay, let's go with that.
Oh, it does.
2
It
yards,
says in
3
the-
yards. Damage radius for
yeah,
explosion in yards at up to double the range. The damage is halved. So you do damage. At
And
triple the
injury,
range,
yeah.
the damage is quartered. So it does do damage up to 3 times the base range.
Okay.
So 9.
It's kill
What's that?
kill
9
radius.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kill radius and injury radius.
Yeah. So 9 yards is actually 20 odd feet, which is the whole of that room pretty much. So yeah, it would going back to what you so it would definitely affect Jacob. Will be within 13 feet of it. Bert's like 18 feet away. So yeah. Okay. So now we know the rules. What are you going to do?
Throw a grenade.
Okay.
Sorry, Jake. I shot him and then just to make sure threw a grenade at him.
Right. So whereabouts are you aiming it to land?
Seeing as I saw him, I'm aiming it to land there
Okay. Right.
because I know he's gone round and up. I want to make sure that I catch it because if I throw it there, it's not going to actually hit him.
No. Okay. That is absolutely right. So yeah, make a roll then. It's quite a difficult throw from where you are through the. So actually, before you even make the throw roll, can you roll a percentage, please? Okay, lovely. Now you can make the throw roll.
Oh, can't I have that as the roll? Oh, screamer! 4.
Oh my gosh, a 4. Unbelievable.
Did I get a 2 last time with a grenade?
Yeah.
Is that an extreme success?
That is an extreme success.
Okay, so on that basis, I'm going to say that okay. Well,
Bounce off the wall.
I'll work that out in a second, but yeah, let's do the damage first.
Oh, okay. That's 40-10, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think you can impale with a grenade.
No. It's 40-10 yet?
Yeah.
7, 14, 15, 18 damage.
Okay. So how far away is Jacob from so he is 12 feet away, so 3 yards away. So he's actually within the short radius.
No, 3 yards is 9 feet.
Yeah, but it was base range was 3 yards, wasn't it?
But
Yeah.
3 yards is 9 feet, and you said he's 12 feet
so
away.
it's 12 feet away. So it's the okay. So
It's only 2d10 damage.
yeah, but I'm gonna because of the fact that Douglas got an extreme success, I'm gonna reduce it to 1d10 damage. I think that's fair.
Mm.
I think that's very fair. Particularly if I'm far enough for it to be no D10.
I'm just gonna make I think because I don't think we can reason it'd be no damage at all.
No,
he's
maybe it bounced it off the wall slightly, so it covered him partially. So if it landed, if I hit that wall, landed there, it protects him a little bit, and so he's.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
go on, mate.
it does depend, doesn't it? Because if
Let's
it
just see
went
what
round,
happens.
I'm
well,
just thinking about.
I don't think it's going to matter. But
No, I'm going to say that.
And you're lying down.
Yeah, I'm going to say that because of the fact you're lying down and he got an extreme success, I think that he's just absolutely lucks out on it. If you were at short range, it's basic range. I don't think you would have had to take some damage, but the fact that you're in its medium range and he got an extreme success, I think for me means that you don't take any. That's what I think. I think that's fair. Otherwise, because the extreme successes happen so rarely that they should be.
They should be
Rewarded.
extreme.
Yeah, they should be rewarded. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Mills bomb explodes and silence reigns after the explosion fades away.
But crucially, how does Bert feel about it?
Oh yeah, I look at Bert quizzically.
What Bert does?
To run up the stairs very quickly.
So Bert, you slam the cartridges into the shotgun. And as Douglas is throwing the grenade, you level the shotgun. Douglas, you turn as the grenade goes off. You turn to see Bert pointing the shotgun at you, both barrels.
Yeah. I dive up the stairs.
The explosion happens, and Bert, suddenly something happens. Something snaps in your brain, and you can hear the ringing of an explosion somewhere. And you suddenly realise that you're aiming at Douglas on the stairs. You release your finger from the trigger that you were just about to squeeze and regain your senses. All is quiet.
You're pointing that thing the wrong way, Bert.
Yes, indeed, mate.
How are you feeling? You look terrible.
You check on Jacob. I will go check on Gavigan. And by check on Gavigan, I mean shoot him point blank with both barrels of the shotgun.
Sounds fair. Or what's left of him. I go very quickly and patch up Jacob as best I can.
Okay. Douglas, I'll get it right in a minute. Bert, you turn the corner to see the blasted remains of Gavigan thrown up against against this cell here in the corner against the wall. His head is at horrible angles, if his neck has been broken. He's horribly disfigured. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay.
And then go back to Jacob Douglas.
Okay, you approach him. You raise the gun, and suddenly his eyes flick open. And as you take aim to shoot him again, he says, "You think you've won? You cannot stop what's already begun. The gate is opening. They will not fail, and then even death won't hide you." And you release both barrels into him again. Okay. So you said you were trying to patch up.
Yeah, Jacob.
Okay, make a roll then, please.
Shame. I saw the 0. No, that's not a success on first aid.
Okay. The one thing that does happen though is that your attentions do rouse him from his unconscious state.
Jacob, I'm sorry, I had no choice.
Jacob, you just have this memory of your very consciousness being invaded by Gavigan. The shadow, the taint of his power still hangs around in your consciousness.
I don't really remember much, Douglas. I just remember Gavigan's mind enveloping me. Is he dead?
He's dead. Very dead. I'm sorry I had to. You were possessed by him. The only way to get to him was through you, so I had to shoot you in the leg. I'm sorry. But it was either that or you tried to kill Bert or myself. Anyway, Gavigan's dead. We need to clear up and get out of here. I'll see if Bert can do something for your leg wound. It's too serious for me, I'm afraid.
I don't think I can walk. It really hurts.
No, it was slightly worse than I was hoping.
Not much of a medic, I'm afraid. I wrapped a few bandages in the trenches, but I can.
Have a go. I've made an absolute pig's ear of it.
No, I can stop
Can't
the
do it.
bleeding,
Can't
but
do any
we're
better.
not really going to help him.
He has you have a look at it, Bert, and you realise you just said that without you even trying, you say, "I can't. There's nothing I can do any more than what you've already done, really."
Yeah. Right. Is there any sort of like bag or anything that we can? We need to empty the house of anything that looks interesting.
There are
Double
those
quick.
things. There are those things on the desk.
The
Yeah.
glowing things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put them in a bag so we're not looking at them.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Is there anything?
Check the desk. Is there any paperwork? Anything that
Okay.
might lead us to someone else?
So you mentioned the first, right? Just as a caveat here, I realise that you're going to be doing this as fast as you can. Okay.
Yeah.
So me telling you stuff might take longer than it actually fit. But I realise that you're not spending ages reading stuff. You just kind of.
Yeah.
So
Ransacking the place.
yeah, anything
Yeah.
that involves any longer, I'll give you the opportunity to decide whether you want to stay any longer or not. Okay. Right. So on the bench, those two gold scepters that lie on a pillow. Now the odd green glow that was coming from them has now faded or gone altogether, and they just look like they look like they are solid gold. One of the scepters has an inverted ankh on the top, and the other one is like a crook. They're both exactly the same length and look to be a pair.
There isn't any sort of bag or anything around here, is there?
Yeah, there were loads of sacks and
Just
pouches
those
and all
sacks.
sorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking I could run up to a bedroom and get a case, but if the
Yeah,
sacks
I
and
was
stuff
thinking
will be fine.
pillowcases or something. Both are sacks. That's
Okay.
Yeah, there are sacks in here because there are all sorts of kind of chemicals and other bits and pieces in pouches and sacks and bags. Let's just get.
We've still got that sort of like glue type substance that we've never examined, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, other than the medieval torture devices that I already mentioned, the Iron Maiden, rack, tongs, pincers, thumb screws, knee splitter, brazier in the centre of the room. There's a desk and a leather chair and a table. On the table next to the desk, there are loads of books and scrolls. And the shelves above there are the shelves scattered all around the room that contain all manners of jars, tubes, boxes, pouches, sacks, etc.
There's too many books for us to carry.
Yeah, there is too many for you to carry. Yeah.
Go for the ones that, if you're on the desk or are closest to hand.
You reckon there
even
must
if
be
we
at least, there's probably pushing 100 books in here.
Oh,
Right.
okay. So we can't just shuffle them into the boot. We need to be a bit
No,
discerning.
Some of them are quite big as well, so it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Can everybody make an occult roll, please?
Ho, ho, ho. What's that?
Nope.
No.
No.
Yeah, success for Jacob.
Okay, so Jacob, glancing through some of the pouches and bags and metal tubes and other boxes, they seem to be contain all sorts of herbs, roots. Some of them are like you think might be pickled organs, powdered blood, pressed flowers, various coloured dusts, powders, and all sorts of other such things. Many of these items have folklore connecting to them and superstition, and they're basically the sort of things that would be connected with witchcraft.
Pressed flowers, the bastard.
Some of those things are associated with witchcraft.
You make another roll as well, another percentile roll for.
24.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
But the question is that folklore or is that genuine magic?
Well, some might argue the two are the same, but
You turn and look at Bert, and you see that his skin is horribly cracked and blackened, and his hair has kind of has turned white in some places. He looks to have suffered the same fate that you did, Blake, back in New York.
Yeah, that's what I figure. On the plus side, Bert, it does get better. It's not permanent, but you're going to feel terrible for a while.
I feel terrible now. We need to be quick.
We do.
And to be honest, I want to get in that car and have a nice sit down.
Well, I think we're travelling back by boat, aren't we?
Well, as long as I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
We're going to have visitors at some point, so.
What have you done with the scepters? Are you leaving those?
No, taking the scepters, putting them in a
those.
sack, and we're going to take
Okay.
any books that look particularly big and important based on the ones we've seen in the past that seem significant, particularly the ones that maybe are on his desk or are closest to hand for him as if he uses them regularly.
Okay. There's on his desk. There is a large ledger which looks worthy of taking.
Oh, definitely take the ledger.
Look for
You,
bookmarks.
You only have to look at it quickly to see that it's like it's got a lot of shipments and the records and stuff in there.
Yeah, are there any books with obvious bookmarks in them?
Okay. Glancing through all the books, they are all different shapes and sizes of different languages, ranging from Arabic through English, Hebrew, French, German, and other languages that you've never seen before.
There aren't any that are sort of on the desk open, obviously being studied currently, are there?
You said you wanted to look for bookmarks. There's a tome, a thick, ancient-looking tome that's close to hand, quite near on the top of a pile, on next to the desk, and it has a bookmark in it as well on a page that you can't read because it's in Arabic.
Mm.
But yeah, it looks quite. This one reminds you more of the kind of tomes that you found in Carlisle's library and in the Penhew Foundation, rather than just being a standard book.
Okay, well, that one will definitely take.
Okay.
Is there anything in the room I can use as a crutch or a stick to help me walk?
Bert or Douglas?
There's some sticks hanging. There are some pieces of wood or sticks that are like leaning up against the wall, so you can use one of those.
I'm going to go and search Gavigan's body.
Okay.
Sorry about the mess.
Yeah, there wasn't really much of his body left, to be honest.
Okay, I'll search his clothes, not his body.
Right. So you go and do that on the desk. There is on the desk is a copy of monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, dated March 1920, and it's open on at an article which seems to be discussing an upcoming solar eclipse, which is going to happen in January 1926.
Okay. You got a specific date?
The 14th of January 1926. There is on the body of Gavigan. You obviously it's quite a vile. You don't take any sand from seeing dead bodies, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Picking through the remains of Gavigan, there isn't really much other than he is wearing around his neck a green kind of almost like soapstone pendant on a leather necklace, on a leather thong, which has got a weird kind of star-shaped symbol on it.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, and in the pocket in the pocket of his jacket, in the inside pocket, you also find a whistle made of what looks like some sort of alloy of maybe meteorics, maybe silver, or it's silvery looking, but it also has a kind of kind of other flecks in it, as if it's some sort of other meteoric metal as well.
Okay.
That also has some odd etched symbols on it. Again, they remind you of the symbols that you saw in the basement in Juju House, if you remember, on the walls.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Okay, back at the desk. On the wall next to the desk, you notice, Jacob, you notice there is an aged document which is hung in a frame just right in front of the desk. I'm going to show you this now. I've just added that onto the Discord. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can I read it?
Yeah. Yeah, read it out, yeah.
Thank you.
Thus shall his chosen prepare the world. The seal shall crack and the first of the old walls shall fall. When the black sun rises, the veil shall rend and his light shall sear the heavens. The stars shall scream and the earth shall buckle beneath the shadow of the crawling chaos. The chosen will awake as all others are consumed. When the moon devours the sun and the gate is opened by fire, he will walk the world in full. No longer through masks, but in flesh, voice and storm. It's a passage from the 1,000 Steps of Descent by an unknown author from the 3rd dynasty.
So we now have our timeline then. When the solar eclipse happens is when whatever they are summoning will pass through Nyarlathotep.
My God. That's no time at all.
And Gavigan suggested it, well, to stop it, although Gavigan seemed to think it was too late to, but
Well,
we have to try.
we've destroyed 2, or maybe 2 cells. We need to resolve what's happened in Egypt and Africa, Shanghai, and Australia. Don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that we should depart these shores shortly.
No, I don't mean to disrespect your country, Douglas, but I think I've had enough.
Trust me, there are some nice bits.
You also find a handwritten note on the desk, which I will show you.
For the attention of Pale Viper, Elias has been dealt with by our friends in New York. Now we must turn to our other problem, namely Jack Brady. I understand that he may be in Shanghai and ask if you would direct your resources to hunting him down. It is stupefying that this troubling man has evaded us for so long. He may become an obstacle to our great plan. If you wish, I will.
Then it stops.
Was there a pen next to it?
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, no, actually, no. There's not a pen next to it. No, sorry, I do put. No, there's not. It doesn't look like it's been freshly written, but obviously it's been written and then not finished.
Not finished.
Maybe there's another chapter to add. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So
we know why or who ordered Jackson's death. Then
We need to get out of here and study these later.
the sad news, I'm afraid to impart to you, is that the 2 occupants of the northernmost cells unfortunately didn't survive the attack on Gavigan. However, the clergyman in the southernmost cell, you suddenly hear some kind of noise which draws your attention back to there, as if he's moving or coming around. So yeah, you've searched the desk. You're looking at you've taken the book out of all the books that you think there are loads and loads of scrolls. I mean, I guess you probably could just scoop all the scrolls into a bag.
yeah, we'll scoop the scrolls up. If they're sealed, we're going to leave them behind.
So there's an office upstairs that we haven't fully cut out and ransacked as well.
Is there anything else down here that we don't think we've examined?
I think you've just about found everything that you think you can find without doing a real kind of painstaking long search.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Let's head out.
Sounds like one of the captives is alive. We should help them.
It's the clergyman, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can we leave him here for now and come back? He should be. I don't want to be bringing him around while we do our last thing. It'd be the last thing we do is come back and get him. We're not leaving him, but I don't want him to be hindering us whilst we search the rest of the place. And if the police turn up, we will come back for him, though. Let's search the office first.
Do you want to? I'm not very mobile, gentlemen. Do you want to leave me somewhere where I can keep watch for the police?
Yeah.
You just help me upstairs.
Put you by the window.
Okay, you're going to go back upstairs, then.
Yeah.
And okay, you're going to go up to the first floor, are you? And look out the front windows. Is that what you're going to do, Jacob?
Yeah. Well, the ground floor. I'm not really up to climbing.
Yeah, we'll put him at the ground floor. What's the window that's looking up the drive?
Yeah, there's 4 windows at the front that are looking at the drive. So you're talking about the ground floor, sorry?
Yeah,
the
ground floor, just in that main hall when we come out the stairs.
The one that we smashed.
Yeah, so the library's front facing, the dining room.
Actually, the one that we smashed is probably the best one. You can just hang out that broken window.
Yeah. I'll pull up a chair and sit looking out the window, looking for anyone coming.
Actually, probably that one would be best, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's library. That's what we're talking. Yeah. That's further forward than the other one. A better vantage point.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Where did you say you wanted to go and search?
There was an upstairs
bedroom
that it was.
We came across Gavigan's bedroom, didn't we?
It looked like it was Gavigan's bedroom, yeah, because it was much nicer than everything else, and it had a lot of stuff in it. But we just gave it Jacob and I just glanced at it and then moved on.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to have to go and retrieve Charles's body as well. Plus, he's carrying Mills bombs and dynamite, which may come in useful. But I don't really want to go in there because I don't want to have to look at the remains of what killed him.
I don't want to be that guy here, Douglas, but we're covering why. This is everyone's grave now.
Well, it depends what we're going to do with the house. What we're going to do? Burn it?
For sure.
Fair enough.
If he's got dynamite on him, we set a fire. Eventually, it'll get to him, and that'll really help bring the place down.
You could. Sorry, I forgot to mention that when you're looking out the window, Jacob, the first thing you notice, obviously, is the fact there's a car like at the end of the driveway, with the lights on, and the engine still running. But I presume that Bert and Blake would have been with you when you went to the window, so they can tell you that that's obviously
Yeah.
the car that they took to the end of the drive. But just to
was
point
us.
out that it is still there and the engine is still running, because you left it like that, didn't you?
It wasn't
don't
very
worry.
eco-friendly of us.
Probably run out of petrol. Right.
Okay.
There's a risk, Jacob, that the police are going to arrive. If it is, it's not the real police. They are members of the cult. So feel
Why
free
does
to
that
shoot at them.
Why does that not surprise me? Would it make sense to get the car close to the house so we can make a quick getaway?
Well, I think we're going to have to travel back with the boat, aren't we? Or does it not matter that we're leaving the boat behind?
Remind me how far it is to the boat.
Oh, it's only about it wasn't very far, a couple of 100 yards from the house.
Okay, in that case, yeah, we're going to take the boat.
Not least because we have to return it.
At this point, we don't have to do anything.
Well, that's fair.
We've
But we do have to retrieve. We've got to retrieve Charles's car.
That's true.
Charles's car, yeah, that's in Walton, isn't it?
Charles's car keys are going to be on Charles.
On Charles.
Okay, well, we'll go get his keys in a minute. Let's get this bedroom checked out.
Right. Okay.
Okay. You go upstairs to search the bedroom. So just for the benefit of Blake, who's not heard this before, maybe not. So this is obviously quite, the most well-kept room in the house. Has an ornate four-poster bed, heavy red velvet curtains, and yeah. So on a dressing table next to a folded piece of paper stands a wooden mannequin, upon which rests an ornate headdress. You didn't take that headdress before, did you?
No, we didn't.
We didn't take anything. We just we just looked.
Yeah, there's an ornate bejeweled headdress of kind of Egyptian-looking provenance.
Given that this is a bedroom, is there any chance of a suitcase or similar?
On a wall hangs a large oil painting of an Egyptian pharaoh. A modern-looking clock also is in the room, which again reminds you of something that you've seen previously that looked quite modern from a timepiece perspective. Yeah, so if you remember, there's a dressing room that leads off the bedroom. But yes, there are suitcases in there. There are numerous suitcases in the dressing room.
Then we need to just grab a suitcase, empty as necessary, and put the headdress and anything else that you think could be useful, Douglas.
Yeah.
There are.
Make sure they're not monogrammed.
There are lavish robes in the dressing room. Some of them are cowled and have the inverted ankh symbol.
Check them all. Do they just look fairly mundane? I mean, that's in regular clothes. There's nothing unusual about them.
Yeah, well,
as regular those things get. Yeah.
Yeah, the robes just look like cult robes, obviously, because they've got hoods and everything. But yeah,
nothing of the kind of stature of the headdress.
No.
There's nothing that kind of matches the headdress. Then, so you could. There's not a full outfit. It's just okay.
No. There are three of these robes. They're all a kind of silk material. One's red, one's white, and one's black. They're all large enough to entirely cover the wearer, including their head and faces. They also have, as well as the inverted ankh, they also have other odd icons and symbols stitched into them, which again is similar to the symbols that you saw on the whistle that you just retrieved from the workshop, and also the symbols that you saw in the Stella and Juju house. There are also 6 neck chains, gold and silver, each suspended an inverted ankh as well.
Take those.
Okay.
I wonder, but if we are going to encounter more of these cults in different countries, if they are parts of the same cult, I wonder if they will also wear the same kind of robes, and whether keeping these robes might be useful for infiltration.
putting the old enemy's uniform on.
Yes.
I don't hate it.
Might not be never ever useful ever again. But
Let's stuff 4 of them in the suitcase just in case.
Yep.
Okay. Could you both make roll percentile dice for me, please?
Bloody Blake, stupid idea. Ooh.
No.
Wow. 85 and 86. Great.
No good.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you I mean, there's nothing else in the dressing rooms. You're going to search the whole dressing room and then the bedroom, like just quickly turn that over. Yeah.
We'll do the standard thing
So,
for the dressing room. I just want to see whether there's any
Jacob and I have already
standard
searched
secret compartment sort of tapping on the walls.
Jacob and I have already searched it once, so I don't know if I'll be able to find more anyway. So
Have you? Right.
Yeah. Okay. You're kind of flicking through. You're like scouring through a bedside cabinet, and there's a drawer which doesn't really have anything of any consequence in it. When Blake, you come across a mouldy old leather wallet at the bottom of the drawer, which has been stuffed in the back of a drawer.
Okay, I take it out.
Okay, something pulls something suggests you that you've seen this before. You can't work out where or how, but you take it out. You can open it.
Yeah.
Okay, the wallet is empty except for a warrant card. You see a familiar face looking back at you, and the name DC Alfred Hines on it.
Oh, I will pocket it and right, we'll move on. I'll tell Bert about that later.
Okay, you spend how long are you going to spend searching?
Not long, because I've already searched once.
I'll just do a 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. You scout around the room. There's no obvious hidden areas or compartments or anything like that, and you don't find anything else really of any interest. Even though this is obviously his bedroom, it doesn't feel like he spends a lot of time here. There isn't a lot of personal effects here.
Probably in his workshop, eh?
Yeah.
Unless there are more secret rooms.
I don't think we've got time for that. I think we've got to get back to the boat. Jacob's badly hurt, and I've got to tell you, Douglas, I'm knackered. I'm bad. I'm in a bad way. I've got to get out of here.
Yeah, and I agree, and I totally get it. You're handling it better than I did. We need to go and get the car keys.
I don't mind doing it.
Yeah. Can you grab the grenades? Actually, also he's take any ID.
Of course.
You can.
Yeah.
He's got Stanton's.
Douglas, not my first go around.
All right.
I've emptied a body of personal effects before.
Right. I'll wait in the breakfast room.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I shall steel myself for going to go get Charles's stuff.
Okay. Can you get you to roll a spot roll, please, Jacob?
And that's a success, but it might be. It is. It's a hard success.
Oh, okay. So obviously the night is dark. Other than you're looking at the car, which is standing at the end of the driveway. You suddenly see what looks to be some more lights on the lawn, and you see kind of another set of headlights coming up the drive slowly and then stopping. They're just out of sight because there are trees in the way, but because you were so eagle-eyed, you just saw the headlights. Now the headlights are turned off and they disappear.
I'm going to get up and move as quickly as I can, which is not very quickly at all, through the house toward the main hall and the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Well, yeah. Blake's only in the breakfast.
Once I get to the hall, I'm going to call out, Douglas, Bert, where are you?
I'll walk through into the main hall. What's up?
We've got company. We need to get out quickly. There's another vehicle arrived. I think we need to head out the back and get to the boat as soon as possible.
Well, we've got to free the vicar, and we've got to torch this place.
Well, we'll have to deal with whoever's
outside.
Whoever's here. I think we need to just get out.
Well, we prepare a welcome in the main hall for them.
I'm not going to be any help with that, Douglas.
No, I'm not suggesting you do, but I don't think we're going to have time to get away.
Where's Bert?
He's retrieving the keys from Charles's body.
Charles is dead.
Charles is dead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you earlier. There's a creature in there that killed him and attacked you. I think that may have partially explained why you've blacked out. We saw it from a distance. It looked pretty horrendous from when we were, so I tried to think what it was like close up.
We
Oh, we
tell
don't have
Bert.
time. Yeah, I'll call to Bert and say, Bert, we've got company coming up the drive. We might want to prepare a welcome in the main hall.
But you've gone into the kitchen to
I reload my gun, by the way.
see the site of utter devastation. Not only have you got Charles's body that's been ripped apart by the creature, but then obviously the grenade went off in here. But you can also see the broken form of whatever the flying thing was that attacked and killed Charles. And so it's, even though it's dead, it's still an unnerving sight. Can you make a sanity roll, please?
I rolled a 4.
Okay, so it's Iron Guts, but Iron Guts Briggs again. Okay, you just focus on the task. You head straight to Charles's body. You just take in the keys, nothing else.
So I want the keys. I was told he had a necklace that belonged to Stanton. I've never seen it, but I've just been told that there is one. I will take his grenades, but not his dynamite. I believe he had a shotgun.
Okay.
And
you
I'll
find. Sorry, Karen.
I'll frisk him for a wallet.
Yeah. Okay, you find all of those, including the necklace as well, that's stowed away in an inside buttoned pocket of his jacket.
Yeah. I will assume that's the right one then. It looked like it's in the right.
You hear as you're finishing that, you hear the call from the hallway with Douglas.
Okay. I'll rush back through into the hall.
We've got company coming, Bert. There's another vehicle just coming up the drive.
How close? Can we get out the back?
I think if we get out now, I think we'll be ahead of them.
Let's head for the boat.
I agree. We're in no state to fight further.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
We want to get out the back, the furthest away from the front door that they might be. If they're coming down the driveways, we want to go out the other way.
That's back out through the breakfast room and back through the backyard where you went.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do we leave a 60-second surprise behind, Douglas?
Most definitely. We need to destroy everything that's in the workshop, and we need to get the priest.
We don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I really am.
Okay, so what you're doing? You're standing in the hallway. It's probably it's a couple of minutes now since you saw the car pull up the drive.
We need to leave now.
Do we run, or do we?
I can't run.
Yeah.
Well, do we meet them here?
No, we head to the boat. We go. Drop a stick of dynamite in the hall and go.
I'm going to start heading to the back door. I need to get a head start, gents. You'll be able to catch me up, but I'm going to slow you down otherwise.
Yeah, and Bert doesn't exactly look particularly chipper either.
No.
Right. What we do? Split and meet at the Bert, Jacob, you head to the boat. I'm going to go and get the priest and set a dynamite down there so that everything down there is destroyed.
Okay. We'll meet you at the boat.
Meet you at the boat.
Okay. So the two of you are going out the back door. You're heading back down to the workshop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I guess just the two of you that are going out the back door. Are you carrying anything? Who's carrying the sack with all the stuff in it?
I'll be carrying. There's anything that I'll be carrying that.
Okay. And are you both?
He should just be looking after himself.
Before you go, but can I take a grenade? I've got no grenades.
Yeah, I'll give him my 3 grenades. I haven't used any.
Okay.
Did you take them from Charles?
I took Charles's grenades, but I left his dynamite there in the hope that it would go off when his body
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 mils bombs. You've got Charles's.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
So I'll just give it all to you. I'm not carrying any of that.
Okay, fine. That means I've got 6.
Yeah.
Are you heading? Are you both? So Jacob and Bert, are you heading to the boat together?
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay. I've got 3 sticks of dynamite that I'm just going to drop in the hall. Just leave them lying there in the hope that again they get caught up in a fire if a fire happens.
Okay.
When a fire happens.
And so I guess you're going to go out the back and do like a circuitous route, because the actual where you moored the boat was actually in front of the house.
Yes, that's right.
but
That's
you
the
to-
plan.
You're
Move
going to
around
go
in the
all
dark.
the way around. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you light the place?
No, I'm leaving that to you.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
He just left some things behind that might go pop when the place is lit.
When you sort it.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Right. So the two of them have gone now out of the back door. Douglas, you're heading down into the workshop. Okay. You dash down the steps as fast as you can. And you head. What you can do? Just head into the cell area.
Yeah, I'm going to go and grab the vicar.
Okay.
Hope that I'm going to have to look for some keys to open the.
I was to say, you're glancing around, realizing, because you try and get in and realize it's locked, and you start panicking. You glance around and you see on the other side of the archway there's a hook with keys on it.
All right, I'll grab those, try them until I can find the one that fits.
Okay, you managed to find that quite quickly. The vicar is semi-conscious. He's a thin, balding man. His clerical garb is ripped and soiled, and you can see his eyes are sunken and haunted. You can try and help him up.
Yeah, can you walk?
He turns to you and his eyes are wide and he says, "We watch, we warn," and he looks at you expectantly.
Okay, is he absolutely insane?
He stands up and he looks at you again and says, "We watch, we warn."
I don't know what you're saying. If he looks like...
No, he doesn't. He looks fairly insane, but it's difficult to tell.
Okay, I'll take him anyway. And I'll go...
He just kind of mumbles some stuff. And he is surprisingly strong though. He gets up and he's able to walk.
Right, okay, I'll guide him, say, up the stairs. And as
he just starts mumbling, and you can hear that he seems to be, like, you guess that he's reciting passages from the Bible or something along those lines.
Okay, I'll push him out into the hallway, and once he's in the hallway, I am going to light 2 sticks of dynamite on the bottom of the stairs, so at a point where I think it will most likely to collapse the hallway.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. As you're doing that, you was just working in the hallway, and suddenly you hear somebody trying the front door.
Okay.
Then there's a sharp knock. Open up, police!
Okay, I will keep doing what I'm doing, and then I will head up the stairs, and I will see the window at the back. That one.
On the first floor or the ground floor?
On ground floor.
Yeah.
I'm going to head that way, take the priest with me, and open the window, push him out the window, and then light all my remaining 3 remaining dynamite sticks. Throw them around the room, and jump out the window myself and run.
Okay, so you run, taking the vicar with you, I presume.
Yes. Where's the back door? Oh, no, I'm going out the window. No, that's fine.
Yeah, you go out the window, and it's not very far until you hit. Well, you can see there are trees right next to the back of the house, anyway. So you head into the trees. It's not long. You haven't been going long when you hear the explosion back at the house, and through the trees you can see the flash as the dynamite does its work. Okay, you've now got to navigate back to the boat.
Looking back at the house.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's just collapsed, or does it look like it's caught fire?
Can I make the luck roll, please? Can't be skill. It's just luck.
I was hoping that it had just collapsed.
Okay, so it's on fire then.
93.
Can I try that next time I make a shot? I was really hoping I'd miss.
No, the purpose of the dynamite was to try and set it on fire, was it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an explosion, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't ignite. It was luck. I didn't have time to find flammable things to douse the house.
It's just it hasn't caught fire, unfortunately. It's just
collapsed.
Collapsed. Yeah. As far as you can see, anyway. Yeah. New point in the ground of the house. Okay, so when you go out of the house, out the back, are you going round to the left or are you going round to the right?
I am. Are you talking to me?
Well, all of you actually.
Okay, I'm going to go to the right.
Okay. Yep.
I would naturally head left, but
Oh, I'm not leaving Jacob, so yeah.
Okay. You know that you've got to get back round the front, and it is more or less right at the front of the kind of the small channel that you left the boat.
Is there any indication which is going to be the shortest way? Because with this knee, we're just going to go the shortest.
I think
Yeah.
for us would be left
Would it?
actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Because
they're
the
not-
back
they're not
door
gonna-
is sort
yeah.
of toward that side of the house.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we're doing the shortest.
Okay. As you're heading off, you've made a good distance from the house. You come out of a small copse, and you're beginning now to head back towards the back south as it were here, back towards the front of the house. When you cross a well-trodden path that seems to lead into a clearing, not far from where you're standing, and you can just make out that there seems to be some sort of monument or standing monolith off that way. You're just going to ignore it and carry on, or are you going to go and have a look?
I look at Jacob, and then I go, we have to press on, mate. We have to press on
We do.
to the boat.
Carry on to the boat.
Okay, you hear the explosion from the house. The two of you, you ignore the path that I mentioned, and you carry on back south until you find the channel that runs to the south of the house, and then follow it back along east towards the house. Sorry, towards the boat. And you are very pleased after it must be about 20 minutes, maybe a bit less than that, to finally see the small craft still bobbing up and down in the concealed area that you left it.
Get in the craft, and help Jacob in first. Get in and wait for Douglas.
Okay.
Get the boat ready to get away quickly.
Okay. Douglas, you make your way through the grounds of the house, nimbly, quietly, efficiently. You don't have any other entanglements. And presently, about 15 minutes after the others arrive at that boat, you are within sight of it, and you can see the two of them already at the boat or on the boat.
Okay.
All is quiet. The only thing you can hear is the wind blowing in the trees. It's very dark. It's fairly cloudy, and there's not much moon. So yeah, it's
I will be very careful in this last moment not to be surprised.
Okay.
Move cautiously towards them, guiding the priest as I go. Pistol out.
Yeah, the priest hasn't really been any trouble. He's just literally he's been reciting verse the whole time, but he just does exactly what you tell him to do. So so you get onto the boat. So all four of you are on the boat now.
All right, steer it back, back out the channel and round to Walton.
Okay.
Good work, Blake. Well done. Saw the
Unfortunately, the house is destroyed, but it didn't catch fire. So
Never mind.
Oh, we did what we
Don't
could.
always get the luck, do we?
if those police were cultists, hopefully they'll conceal what's happened. I doubt they're going to want the real police crawling around investigating. They'd have a lot of questions to answer.
Any chance you caught them in the blast?
It's possible. That was a lot of dynamite.
Yeah, nice.
We're going to have their hands full for a while, even if they did survive.
We need to get back to Charlie's car. I suggest we just leave the priest in Walton. Someone will look after him.
Yeah.
Scarpa.
Okay, it's the early hours of the morning when the Robin begins chugging its way back towards Walton on Naze with a
different crew.
Yeah, with a different force. Well, not only a different crew to the one that arrived.
I was going to suggest maybe Bert, you drop us off.
It's so early.
It's early hours of the morning. Nobody's going to be
We're
around.
not going to see anyone.
Fine.
We'll just
Okay.
bail up, get out of here.
Right.
Okay. So that's a good place to stop, I think, as you head back towards Walton, nursing your various injuries.
We are knackered.
Absolutely running on fumes.
I'm absolutely chipper.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I've got a nice new car, so. Yeah. So,
Oh, excellent. Brilliant.
which probably next session I'm going to suggest is far too conspicuous, so we need to torch.
Yeah.
Well, you have to torch everything. That's just part. It seems to be part of the campaign. If you can't set fire to it, then you got to blow it up. That's basically the motto.
Well, I'm out of dynamite, so.
Yeah.
Did you steal Charles's jacket, suit as well? If we're going to loot a body, you've got to do it properly.
No, I didn't take a suit.
No, he didn't take any of his potions of healing either. But that's
No.
another matter.
No.
Fillings? Well, all in all, I think the most damage done was to Jacob. Really sorry about that, Jacob.
Yeah, well,
I feel like my 42 from a shotgun blast
That was pretty.
really
that was pretty
contributed
impressive. I mean,
to getting the shields down.
Yeah, that's basically what it was, actually.
We must give Bert more time.
I thought that was just right. It was just on. It could have tipped either way at one point. I think.
Oh, could have done.
Do you think?
oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I thought that. I mean, I genuinely thought there could have been a total party kill. Like that.
Yeah.
It was going south quite rapidly.
If you hadn't rolled
well,
that extreme success, then Jacob would definitely have died.
Yes. Well, if I hadn't have thrown the grenade, then I definitely would have died because Bert would have shot me in half.
shot
I
you.
would have shot it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So
You did.
Yeah.
You did have another round to get on though, didn't you? Because I could spend a round reloading.
you reloaded in the round that I threw the grenade.
Yeah.
So you'd have
Oh.
shot me.
I would have shot you next. That's
Yeah.
true.
So that's why I was considering running through to try and catch up with him, but in the act of running through, I would have. You'd have probably shot me, and also I couldn't guarantee that my pistol's strong enough to have killed him. That's why I had to throw the grenade. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I hopefully I didn't kill Jacob in the process. But
Yeah, it's almost a total party kill where we killed each other.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about really good bad guys, isn't it? They use you against yourselves.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see an alternative on other than shooting Jacob.
Oh no, that was good teamwork. You got Jacob, and then I got him,
Yeah.
and I stand by that.
Yeah,
Jacob
I'm not
doesn't-
sure I agree, but we're all entitled to our different opinions.
All's well
Out,
done.
just
The
out of
ends justify
curiosity.
the means.
Yeah. Well, out of curiosity, if it had been reversed and I was standing between, what would you have done? Because I generally couldn't think of anything else to do other than trying to shoot Gavigan cut through you, as in like take a really extreme shot and hope that I got rolled really well.
Yeah, but you did need an extreme
I-
success to do that.
I
Yeah.
don't think I would have resorted to shooting because just because my skill isn't high enough. Not sure what I would have done, but yeah.
Well,
All's well that ends well.
I think actually Simon's plan turned out for the best because the only thing that I could think of was just to Mills bomb both of you, and
I wouldn't have done it. Mills bomb both of them. You just use your shotgun. Shotgun does more damage than the Mills bomb.
yeah, only when I get the really good rolls.
Yes.
you seem to get impales on a regular basis with that shotgun.
That's because I have a really high skill.
Yeah.
That's good.
Gavigan is defeated. What a heavy toll it's taken on our adventures. Please, tune in next time, where we will undoubtedly just be sitting around, reading all those books we just collected. Or maybe visiting the mysterious Zara Shafiq.